Hi, Kevin Trudeau here. I have a very, very serious and important message for you today. I'll tell you this, you're really at the right place at the right time because what I'm about to share is very significant and important. Now, many of you know me as the author of that book, Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. That book was #1 on the New York Times bestselling list for 26 weeks in a row. It sold over 50 million copies. And it was the #1 selling book in all of America the year that it came out. I'm really the guy who shares information, insider information that can positively impact the quality of your life. And it's information that they don't want you to know about. I'm also the author of this program over here, Your Wish is Your Command, How to Manifest Your Desires, which is being called one of the most prolific and greatest success courses of all time. I've also authored, many of you do know, and maybe you don't, the Success Mastery course, which is a private course for people that are part of my inner circle, and also the Science of Personal Mastery course, which is the exact training that I got in the secret society, the Brotherhood, back in the 70s and the 80s. So why am I here today? Well, buckle up, because I have some really important information to share with you. Now, do not be frightened. This is not a doomsday report. If you're sitting there in your house and you get a tornado warning, and if you get that warning in advance, you know the tornado's coming and it's coming in 15 minutes and it's coming right for your house. If you have a plan of action in place, then you can action that plan. You can institute that plan. You can take appropriate action and protect yourself and your family. Things happen. If you're living in Florida and there's a hurricane and you know that it's coming 2 days in advance, you can do all the appropriate steps you need to protect your property, to protect yourself and your family. You know what's coming, and you also know what to do to protect yourself. There is a financial hurricane coming, a financial tornado. It's a financial tsunami that has been talked about. Many people on the internet and on television, you've heard ads. I've seen them 15, 20 years ago talking about the disaster, the global reset, financial crisis, banking crisis, one world bank, one world currency, collapse of the stock market, etc., etc. That's why people buy gold and silver, because they think things are going to be going crazy, and things are. Massive inflation, interest rates are going up, and we see this little, but it really doesn't affect our lives that much, does it? All the doomsday sayers, it really doesn't affect us that much. Well, what's coming is going to affect every single person in the United States of America, and it's going to affect people all across the world. There is an end to currency, to money as we know it, and it's going to begin this summer. This is not a future doomsday report, and this is not a doomsday report. I'm going to be giving you some inside information that we know from the highest levels. As you know, you can go to the fan club, the Kevin Trudeau fan club homepage, and in the gallery, people are amazed. They go, "There's a picture of you and President Gorbachev of the Soviet Union." I says, "Yeah, we traveled together and we knew each other. We talked on the phone many times through an interpreter. He didn't speak English. But I've known him since the 90s. "Oh, there's a picture of you and General Norman Schwarzkopf, 4-star U.S. general." I go, "Yeah, we traveled together. We talked on the phone." There's a lot more insiders that I've been around with since the 80s, 90s, during the 2000s. There's information within these secret societies, like Bohemian Grove, Skull and Bones at Yale University, the Bilderberg Group. There's information that people just don't know. There's a few that do, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. It's not a doomsday report, it's a warning, but also, most importantly, I'm going to be giving you the solution. So stay with me. The end of the US dollar is going to begin happening this summer. there's going to be, you can call it a collapse of the U.S. and the world banking system. The whole banking industry is going to begin to collapse, and it's already happening right now. It's already begun. So this is really, I would call it an urgent message. I'm going to be giving you the facts about what is happening right now, behind the scenes, not what's being talked about in the mainstream media. And I'll be telling you exactly what's happening in the global financial world and what's going to start to happen this summer and in the near future. This is critical information you need to know to protect your money, to protect your investments, to protect your environment, to protect your income, your home, and all of your assets, and even protect your freedoms and lifestyle. Everything in the financial world as we know it is about to change. It's been predicted for decades. You could, you don't have to, but you could be wiped out financially very soon in a major negative way. So please listen to this message. Stay with me. This message could be taken down anytime. As we know, there's censorship in the mainstream media. I don't know how long this video is going to be available. It could be taken down anytime. Who knows? I'm going to be revealing what they don't want you to know about. A few months ago, a close dear friend of mine, Iman Shafi, the founder of one of the most respected and successful financial research firms in the world, was in Dubai, and he met with many we'll call them world leaders and insiders. At this meeting of financial insiders in Dubai, which is one of the most opulent places on the planet, there was a prince of a very powerful country, and this particular country controls a vital world commodity. So this is one of the most powerful people on the planet. Also at the meeting were several international billionaires, people in the banking and global financial industry, people who are involved in secret societies. These are the people that pull the strings, the trillionaire families that really control what's going on. Now, Iman's a young guy, but he has made so much money, he's really one of the insiders. And he has personal relationships with some of the most powerful insiders in the world. This gives Iman knowledge that very few people in the world have access to. Now, back in the 70s and 80s and 90s, when I was involved, and I was at the Bohemian Grove, and I was on Skull and Bones Island, and I was involved in the Brotherhood and all those secret societies, hey, I can't even tell you the places I've been and the people that I met. I know what it is. There's insider information, and there's what the mainstream media tells you. And they're two different things. Having knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. But remember, it's not just what you know, but it's who you know. That's why this message is coming from a source of knowing as opposed to knowing about. We're giving you firsthand information, not what we've heard or read or think or conjure up in our own heads. Iman knows the insider information that I'm going to share with you, and he knows personally the key global players as well. Iman is a very significant person, and he's very significant in this message because Iman can help you avert the financial disaster. What he knows can help you avert the financial disaster and global reset that you've heard about that is coming starting this summer. Again, no reason to be afraid or frightened because there is a solution. I'm going to get to that. Now, most importantly, at the meeting in Dubai, there was a man who was one of the original people that launched Bitcoin back in 2008. He was right there at the beginning. He wasn't the one person who launched Bitcoin. That guy's in prison. But this gentleman, we'll call him Mr. X, he was right there. He's one of the most knowledgeable people in the world when it comes to what is going on behind the scenes financially and what is going to happen. And get this, what is planned to happen in the global financial world that will affect everyday people just like you. You see, there are things planned by the controlling global elites. Well, Mr. X and Iman are very close friends. That means the information I'm going to be sharing with you is coming directly from the source. Mr. X shared with the group, including Iman, what is about to happen. That when I heard about this, I said, this is really going to change the world forever in a major way. I mean, if we look at history, things have changed the world forever. The automobile changed the world forever. Electricity changed the world forever. The cell phone, the smartphone changed the world forever. The internet changed the world forever. There's a few things that have really changed everything. What's going to happen this summer? It's going to be the beginning of one of the biggest changes easily the biggest change in your lifetime. It's going to be bigger than the internet, bigger than smartphones, bigger than anything. It's going to change everything. Now, all of the financial doomsday prophecies you've heard about over the last 20 years, well, many of them are about to start coming true this summer. Now, they've been blowing the whistle and sounding the alarm prematurely, as you know. But it's going to start this summer. When it starts, and don't be frightened when I say this, because there is a solution, but when it starts, if you don't take action, if you don't do what the trillionaires are doing, what the mega rich are doing, if you don't do the simple things that you can do, you will be negatively affected. Your lifestyle is not going to be the same. Your life is not going to be the same. You will potentially lose much of your retirement. That means your standard of living, your quality of life is going to go down. You will lose control over your money and your ability to spend money. The value of your house could go down. As interest rates go up and inflation continue to rise, that means the prices of everything is going to continue to go up and up and up. Your lifestyle and standard of living is going to go down. More banks are going to collapse. We're seeing this right now. Credit Suisse collapse. One bank, two banks, three banks in America collapse. We forget. This is happening all over the world, and it is unprecedented, and no one's even talking about it in a dramatic way. It's just like another piece of the news. But more banks are going to collapse. Now listen, the government, because of these bank collapses, are going to limit the amount of money you can withdraw from banks. This may not happen this summer, but it's going to happen in the future. They have planned to confiscate again gold, just like they did back in the 1930s, and make it illegal for you to physically possess gold. They're going to require it to be brought in. It may not happen this summer, but it's planned on happening. It may even become, down the road, illegal to possess cash over a certain amount in your physical possession, and cash is going ultimately to be wiped out. Now pay attention, this is real and it's happening right now. It's not fantasy. Mr. X, who's a multi-billionaire and one of the most plugged-in insiders regarding world affairs in the global financial world, he knows this has been planned for decades and is going to happen. It's just a matter of when. But it is already starting to happen right now. It's been planned for decades by the parasitical elite class. Now, these are the people around the world that believe that they are, this is true, because I've been there in the meetings, and I know. The parasitical ruling elite class believe they are genetically superior to you. They think they are the ones that are destined to control the world, that it's in their DNA. This group of people, these are the secret society guys, some women. But these are the secret society members of Yale University, Skull and Bones, and others. If you never heard about Skull and Bones was the group that started the CIA, and they still run and control the CIA today, because all the CIA directors and everybody who runs it are Skull and Bones members. Skull and Bones members are on the Supreme Court, and I think it's like 30 or 40% of Supreme Court people over the last decades have been members of Skull and Bones. President George Bush was a member of Skull and Bones. Secretary of State John Kerry was a member of Skull and Bones. I mean, you can go online and see, you see all the different members of Skull and Bones. It'll blow your mind. It's like, how is it that this very small group of people are in everything? Banking, industry, politics, the judiciary, the FBI, the CIA. How is it? Because they control everything. This small little group of people, Skull and Bones. It's a secret society. It's probably the most powerful in the world. President George Bush wrote in his book, and I'm going to quote this, "While at Yale, I was recruited to join the secret society Skull and Bones, and I did. It is a society so secret, that's all I can say about it." Now, I've been to Skull and Bones Island. I was one of the only person who wasn't a Skull and Bones member to ever go there. Not the only one, but one of. I know what's going on there. And this is why I'm sharing with you information they do not want you to know about, which is one of the reasons I've been brutally attacked in the media and by the government for decades. The global ruling elite class, they're also members of other secret societies like Bohemian Grove, which I mentioned, and the highest levels in Freemasonry. It's actually, Freemasonry goes above 33. The 33 degree is, that's when you reach the highest level that's known. But then a very few people are tapped on the shoulder and brought into an inner circle of Freemasons. That's the highest level. And very few people know about that. Also, you may have heard of the Bilderberg Group. Bilderberg Group meets every year, and it's the most powerful people on the planet. It's never talked about in the media. It's unbelievable. You can Google Bilderberg Group and see pictures. I mean, there's presidents and kings and princes. It's bigger than the G8. There's no meeting in history that has this many world leaders, billionaires, trillionaires. There's nothing like it, ever. And it's not even discussed in the media. The chairmen of all the media companies are there, the chairmen of the gas and oil companies, and all the commodities, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, they're all there. And nobody even talks about it. It's bigger than the G8 because it's ultra secret. But there are pictures. I mean, people go there and actually take photos of all the security, the helicopters and everything else, and they see these people coming and going. So it's not like does it actually exist, or is it a conspiracy theory? No, here are the photos. The meeting is going on, but it's never even mentioned in the mainstream media. Think about that. The people who are in these groups, these are the people that really rule the world. It's not the politicians. These are the people that decide when wars start and when they end, and who wins them. These are also the people that decide when pandemics start and end. So what I'm revealing to you, the inside information, is what they don't want you to know about. Because if you know the information, then you can save yourself and protect yourself for the future. And also profit. That's very important. And as I mentioned, this message could be banned at any time. So make sure you like it and you send it out to everybody you know as fast as possible before it may come down. But pay attention. A financial hurricane is coming. A global financial reset that you've heard about is on the horizon right now. We've been hearing about it for decades. The false alarm has happened. This financial tsunami is headed now. It's launched. So I'm giving you a heads up. You could call it a warning, but it's a heads up. This message that I'm going to share with you today is going to tell you what is going to happen because it is already happening. But most importantly, don't be afraid. I'm going to give you the solution. A solution that you can use to protect your financial security and also your freedoms. I'm going to show you the one simple thing. There's one thing you can do. It's very simple. That you can do, and it will protect your money and your freedoms. Now, Mr. X and Iman are doing this one simple thing. It's easy. Because all the other billionaires and trillionaire family guys and all the insiders, all the people who are at the meeting in Dubai, they're doing it as well. In fact, all the top 5% of wealthy people in the world, probably, with rare exception, are doing this one simple thing to protect themselves from this financial, we'll call it a change, but it's such a huge change. You could call it a collapse or a disaster. Now I'm going to share exactly what this one simple thing is you can do to protect yourself and your money in just a moment, so hang with me. But you have to know more about what is about to happen so you don't get blindsided, you don't get shocked, and you don't get frightened. In July of this year, a major financial event is going to occur. Yet it's not going to be covered in the controlled mainstream media. You're probably never going to hear about it. Or if you do, it'll be just a blip, like nothing, like it's like a non-event. But in fact, this major financial event could go down as one of the most important financial events in the history of mankind. I think 20, 30 years from now, people will go back to this moment and say, that was when everything changed. But we're not going to report it probably. What's going to happen is the U.S. Federal Reserve is planned to have a meeting. And at this meeting, they're going to discuss what they've been working on for decades and when they're going to launch it. Now, let's talk about the U.S. Federal Reserve. People call it a private corporation. It's not a U.S. federal agency. It's this total unique thing of its own. It's independent. They do what they want. In fact, the owners of the Federal Reserve really are a secret. There's all these different theories about who owns it. Does anybody own it? How is it controlled? But when you think about it, their balance sheet and financial statements are secret. They can print money anytime they want, and they have no oversight. Nobody can tell them what to do. They have 100% total autonomy. They do whatever they want. They, in fact, control the US dollar, not the United States government. And they're not controlled by the government, and there's no oversight by the government. Oh, by the way, every single board member is also a member of one of the secret societies I mentioned earlier. No surprise. Now, at this upcoming Fed meeting in July, the Fed members are going to discuss the release of their ultimate plan to control your money and your spending. And that's really what it's about. You've heard about it maybe if you're involved in some of these circles for decades, but again, it's been a false alarm. The Fed's plan is to use the spreading of germs and viruses as one excuse, and there's going to be more, but one excuse for the need to eliminate all cash. That's been a goal for decades. Their plan is to make the world a cashless society. No cash, no paper money, no coins. And some people think, good, that makes life a lot easier. I can just use my smartphone and I can just go click, 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 ding, ding, ding. Why should I carry around cash? That sounds like a good thing. Hey, and it's also good because then the drug dealers aren't dealing in cash. This is good. It's going to save crime. Well, that's the argument, and there's a legitimate argument there. But all the cash is going to be converted to a digital currency or digital credits. Ultimately, down the road, the goal is one digital currency used all over the world, just one. And this way, they can control 100% of all money transactions globally and have everything tracked. This way, they have 100% control over you and your entire life. You're giving up your freedom and your privacy. And you may say, no, this is a good thing. It's going to stop crime, drug dealers, and all the cash people and all the... well, we'll see. It sounds good. But every time we give up freedoms for safety and security, how has it worked out? Think of Nazi Germany. They gave up all their freedoms for safety and security. It didn't work out so well. And this happens all over the world. Communism, it happens all over the world. The way the Fed is going to achieve this ultimate goal is to first release what they've been working on for many years. It's called Fed Now. Fed Now is going to be like a cash app on your phone. It's going to be required. You're going to be required to have this cash app on your phone and on your computer. All cash is going to be eliminated ultimately and replaced by this new digital currency that's stored on your Fed Now cash app. Now, I mentioned the excuses to do this. Another excuse for eliminating cash or reducing how much you can possess, how much cash you can actually have in your possession, and reducing or controlling how much cash you can actually use, is the massive bank failures that are happening right now all around the world. Credit Suisse one of the most prestigious banks in Switzerland and one of the most prestigious banks in the world, failed. How much press did that get? Just like a smidge. I mean, for Credit Suisse to fail, a Swiss bank, it's impossible. I think it was the first failure of a Swiss bank this size in history. I mean, this is the banking capital of the world, the most secure, conservative, strongest banks on the planet, and it failed? I mean, this one thing should have shocked the world, but no one talked about it much in the mainstream media. In the United States, I mentioned 3 major banks just failed in the last few months. That's monumental. But again, it's getting very little play. It's showing that the collapse of the financial system as we know it is actually happening. Now, what the government knows and what the government wants to instill in you is fear of not being able to get your cash out of the bank. There is a fear amongst people of bank runs, like they were back in the 20s and 30s. What a bank run is this? A bank run is when, let's say, 30% of depositors physically go to the bank and say, I want to close my account and give me all my cash. The problem is the banks don't have that much cash sitting in their safe. It's all leveraged. So if 30% of depositors walked into a bank and said, I'm closing my account, I want to withdraw all my cash, please give me my money, the bank would become instantly insolvent and they'd have to close. It would be another bank failure. I mean, years ago, I walked into a bank and said, I want to close my account, and I happen to have a lot of money in that account. It was 7 figures. I said, I want to close my account, and I want it in cash. They go, we don't have that much cash here. I go, when can I get it? 3 days. Ooh, that's bad. So the government wants to stop bank runs, and they'll do it by simply making it illegal for people to withdraw a large amount of cash from banks. All they're going to say is, you can't withdraw anything more than $1,000 or $500. Don't worry, your money is protected. It's guaranteed by the U.S. government, but you can't take out that much cash. And this will lead into all these regulations where it will potentially be illegal to even possess any cash. This is the solution to bank runs. And it's to eliminate cash. No more currency. No more cash. It's a beautiful plan. And people are going to actually like it. The plan is to have a cashless society and use everything digitally. This way, everything can be tracked. No more tax evasion. And the government has complete control over your money. I'll talk about that in a minute. Government also wants to take away your gold, if you have any in your possession, or precious metals, just like they did in the 1930s. They want to potentially make it illegal for you to possess physical gold. Now, the U.S. Federal Reserve is not the only group doing this. They've been working with the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund for decades planning this. They've been working with the central banks of other countries as well. Most central banks in other countries are planning similar actions to what I've been talking about. This will be the global financial reset. Remember, the governments all around the world and the U.S. government, they can take away anything you own. They can take away your home, even if you own it outright and have no mortgage on it. Someone says, no, that's not good. Yeah, if you don't pay your rent to the government, called property taxes, they can take your home. They can take your real estate, your property. In many instances, people who owed only a couple $1,000s in back taxes, they couldn't pay it, had their home, which was owned outright and worth, let's say, $100,000. They had $100,000 in equity. They only owed $2,000 in back taxes, but the government came in and took their home and then sold the home at auction. They took the proceeds, kept not only the $2,000 in back taxes, they keep all the money, and that person got nothing. Oh, this is not real? Folks, there's an actual case right in front of the U.S. Supreme Court about this very issue with one particular person that I just described. That's exactly what happened to her. And it's happened to tens of thousands of people in America. The government can take away your cash. They can take away your car. They can take away any item you own. This is called civil forfeiture. You don't know, but this is what the law is. The government can come in and say, oh, open up that briefcase. Oh, you have $30,000 there? All right, we're taking it. Why? Well, you need to prove to us that you got this legally. Oh, you own that boat outright? Yeah, we're gonna take it. Why? Well, we're not going to charge you with a crime, but we're just going to seize it. You then have to sue the government and prove you're innocent, even though you haven't been charged with anything. This is 100% what's happening. Over $5 billion was confiscated last year from law-abiding U.S. citizens by the government. And those people never got their money or possessions back. Our forefathers called it illegal search and seizure. It's legal now. Freedoms are gone. The government can also take away any permit you have. If you have a license to do something, they can just take it away. They can even take away your doctorate, your educational status. The government wants to outlaw cash. Now, this reset actually was tested out in Europe years ago. Every country in the European Union once had their own currency. The Italians had lira, the French had French francs, the Germans had German Deutschmarks. And that was replaced. Everyone's currency was replaced by one currency called the euro. People remember you had to turn in your Italian lira, your French franc, and your German Deutschmarks. Any country who had currency had to go to the bank, turn it in, and then get euros to replace it. And the exchange rate, there was a big argument about it. Because am I really getting a dollar for dollar in purchasing power? And people forget there was a big hassle about this. And this was one of the ways that there was an automatic reset, because it really reduced the purchasing power of all citizens. It reduced, and they didn't even know it. They didn't even feel it, but it was real. The standard of living and quality of life instantly went down. It was a reset. Now today, you can't trade any of those currencies, best of my knowledge. If you have Italian lira and I walk in, if I'm in Italy and I walk in and go, hey, I want to pay in Italian lira, they go, we don't take it lira, we take euros. If I'm in France and I have French francs and I want to go buy a cup of coffee, it's like, here's some French francs. We don't take that anymore. You need to get some euros. It's virtually worthless unless you go to a bank and try to do an exchange. But again, your purchasing power is just not the same. This is what's going to happen soon here in the United States and all around the world. Your money, your American dollars, if you're a U.S. citizen, will have to be virtually turned in and replaced by the FedNow digital cryptocurrency. Possessing cash may, in the future, ultimately, it's going to be outlawed. Your cash ultimately could become worthless. Now, they will use as an excuse, as I mentioned, the idea that cash could spread the virus and disease, so it's better not to have it. And hey, that's a pretty good argument there. But we've been using cash forever, and well, maybe it's not a good argument. I don't know. They'll also say that it's for your protection and it will stop illegal activities like drug dealers who in cash. And hey, there's a good argument there. It sounds pretty good. The problem is the sheeple of the world that just follow along and do what they're told will easily give up their freedom and just succumb to the orders and directives of the government. Then it's going to be too late for them. But you, because you're watching this or listening to this, you're not going to lose your freedom, because you're one of the few people who are going to get the inside information they don't want you to know about, and you are being warned. You are going to know what is about to happen and when it's going to happen and why they're doing it. You'll have understanding, not fear. You'll know the downsides, the real downsides, to this massive financial change. And there are some upsides, but there are major downsides as well. Most importantly, you're going to know exactly how to protect yourself and your family, and also how you can profit from this reset in a major way. You know, during every economic catastrophe, huge profits are made. During the U.S. Depression, huge profits were made. This is going to be like that. You know, the Bill Gates group, there's a group headed up by Bill Gates. They predicted with exact accuracy the last pandemic. And many people say, yeah, they predicted it because they're the ones who created it. Well, maybe. Now they're predicting another pandemic within the next year or two that could even be worse. And this will be another reason that the FedNow digital cryptocurrency is needed. This will be the excuse and why cash must be eliminated to protect people. What they won't tell you is with FedNow, they have total control over your money. They can limit your use of your new money. They may even call it digital credits. Everything you do with your money via the FedNow app is going to be tracked. All the money that you come in and everything you spend. They can freeze your money at any time because they have complete control over the app. They can take your money at any time. They can say, oh, you owe taxes? Boom, it's gone. No more back taxes. They just take it. They can limit what you buy. They can say, wait a minute, you've been using all these health apps and we see your cholesterol's high. You're going to McDonald's and buy some food. Well, we're not going to allow you to do that anymore because we're protecting your health. So you can only buy apples and pears and celery. Think about this. They can control how you spend your own money. This is real and it's happening right now, not just in the United States, by the way. It's happening all over the world. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, they've all formed an organization called BRICS, B-R-I-C-S. That's the initials of Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. 19 other countries have now joined this group. This group's stated objective, stated in their charter, is to destroy the U.S. dollar. I don't use the word destroy, but I'm paraphrasing. It's ultimately to destroy the U.S. dollar's power and set up their own digital currency, which they want to be able to overtake the United States digital currency or currency. And they want their digital currency to become the global default currency instead of the US dollar. This way they can control all monetary policy. This is a war that's going on, not on the battlefield, but with technology and alliances in the financial world. Now, if this happens, this will virtually destroy American standard of living and quality of life as we now know it. Now, this group, and other groups, by the way, have stated very, very publicly, even the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank have stated that the American standard of living, which has been the gold standard during the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, in other words, the standard of living for people in America was just better than any other country in the world. We had the best lifestyle. We lived in homes that had running water and electricity, where a third of the people on the planet live in homes with no electricity and no running water. So our standard of living was better. We had roads. We had sewage. A third of the people on the planet have no sewage. Little things. We have grocery stores where we can buy anything 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we have all the food we want. In most countries, no, it's very limited in terms of food. So our quality of life, our standard of living was always better than anyone. That's changed starting in the 80s. It started going down, and now there's countries like Dubai, Singapore, Switzerland that have way higher standard of livings. Their infrastructure is better, the roads are better, crime is much lower, there's no homeless people, food quality is better, health is better, everything's better. The bridges are better, the tunnels, the public transportation's better. Homes are better. Now people in America live in homes that's, 30, 40, 50 years old, it's all falling apart. Oh, we have a great standard of living. No, when we had a great standard of living, everyone built their home, had their home built, and they lived in it. It was brand new. And that's not the case anymore. So our standard of living has already gone down, but it's going to go down even worse. The stated objective is that the American standard of living and quality of life of American citizens must go down in order for other countries' standard of living to go up. It's already happening. It's going to continue to happen. But you can be protected. Your standard of living doesn't have to go down. Your standard of living can actually go up. You can have the best life in the world because during this financial crisis, we'll call it, this financial tsunami, this could be the most prosperous time of your life and the best time of your life. That's why I said don't be frightened, but you're going to have to take action. The ultimate elitist plan is, as I mentioned, is to have a one global central bank and a one world digital currency. That's not going to happen next year, but it's down the road. And keep in mind that the idea of a euro in Europe, one European currency, was unheard of and laughed at If you said this back in the 70s, oh, there's going to be one currency in Europe, people would just laugh at you and call you a fool, stupid, and a conspiracy theorist. And now, boom, there's a euro. So this is real. And if they said we're going to have a European government that's not elected, that's going to make all the rules for all the countries in Europe, people would call you a nutcase, a conspiracy theorist. Who is going to allow unelected officials sitting in Brussels to control Italy and France and Germany and all these countries? It's never going to happen. It's exactly how it is right now. Think about that. One world currency ultimately, and this is going to give them total control over every aspect of your life. You know, in America, Thomas Jefferson wrote something because he saw and predicted the future. He said, I believe that banks are more dangerous to our liberties than standing armies. If the American people ever allow private banks to control the issuance of money, the banks and corporations will grow up around them, and they will deprive the people of their property until their children will wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered. Folks, this is exactly what's happening today. It's all coming true. Over the next few months and years, inflation will continue to go up. Instead of stealing your money outright, they are allowing inflation to go up, and they're stealing your money by reducing your purchasing power. It's a beautiful covert way of doing it. You don't even know it's happening. The US dollar is going to continue to lose value, as will currencies all over the world. Prices will continue to rise for things. Everything is going to cost more. You know this. It's all costing more right now. And the media says, no, everything's just fine. And you're like, what are you talking about? Every day I walk into the store, I buy the same item, and it's like, it went up 10 cents, it went up 20 cents, it went up 5 cents. Everything's not fine. I mean, we see it every day, but your income's not going up. This is how your standard of living and quality of life is going to go down. The good news is we know how you could possibly increase your income substantially during this crisis and protect your lifestyle. You could possibly increase your real wealth in major ways over the next few months and years. I'm going to tell you how in just a moment. Remember, too, that interest rates are going to continue to go up. They just raised the rates again the other day. This means anything you buy on credit is going to cost you more, a lot more. Cars are going to cost you more. Real estate and homes are going to cost you more. Your credit card bills will be higher. This means you're going to have to buy less things. This means your standard of living and quality of life is going down. Folks, you need to protect your savings. You need to protect your retirement, and you need to protect your assets. In addition, you have to really consider the need of increasing your income. The good news is we believe we know how to potentially do both. If you have money in the stock market, it may look like it's going up because the stock market number may be going up, but because of inflation, its actual value is going down. This is being done on purpose. This way you think everything's all right. You just don't realize, how come I can't buy as much as I used to? See, it's all a big lie. It's a big illusion. When you find out the truth, it's going to be too late. People in the know this. The owner of the largest hedge fund in the world, Ray Dalio, said, the times ahead will be radically different than those we've experienced in our lifetimes. Things are changing, folks, and they're changing fast. You might wake up tomorrow and learn you can no longer take any money out of your bank. I mean, it could happen that fast. But there is a solution. The mega rich are doing one simple thing to protect their money, their assets, and their wealth. And this one simple thing is also protecting their privacy and freedom. You can do this one simple thing too. It's simple and it is easy. It's pretty easy. The super rich are also taking advantage of these major changes by doing another simple thing to create an income stream like they've never had before. There's a huge opportunity here. I mean, there's a potential opportunity here. Nobody knows the future, but it looks like there's something here that you could take advantage of. And we believe you can do it too. The mega rich are also doing one other thing to make huge returns in a very short period of time. Now, some returns in the past have been as large as 10,000% in just a few months. I mean, that's unusual, but those are some of the returns. The mega rich are tapping into this. The elites and insiders, in some cases, have turned, let's say, $1,000 into $1 million in a real short period of time. Again, those are rare instances, but those are what has happened. I mean, it's real, it's documented, it's substantiated. I mean, those are some of the returns. You can learn how to do this, or possibly, you can learn what they did, and you can learn how you can possibly make large returns like that as well in weeks or months. There's a chance anyway, right? The upcoming months and years are going to be quite dramatic, and in some cases, devastating. At a certain point, you might not be able to take money out of your bank, and you won't get any warning. You have to be prepared now. You'll wake up and hear this for the first time. Oh, you can't take money out of your bank today. That's how it's going to happen. But it'll be too late. There's nothing you can do about it. But there is a solution. I mentioned Iman Shafi. He's the man, I believe, with the answer. Now, he's not the only man who has the answer. But he's a very unique guy compared to others who try to pass themselves off as insiders in the know. Iman's different. He's personal friends with the ultimate insider, financially, I believe, Mr. X. Iman is not the only person who knows Mr. X, but he has a personal relationship that's pretty rare. Now, Iman is not the only person or the only insider that is involved in these things, but think about Bilderberg. Think about the secret societies. When you can get on the phone with these billionaires, with these good guy global elites that are members of all these secret societies and people like Mr. X, that gives you knowledge that nobody else has. And having a personal relationship with these people makes Iman very unique. He's been in their homes, and they've been in his home. They socialize together. It's more than just business. Their relationship with many of these people are friends. Now, Iman made huge amounts of money early in his life in cryptocurrencies. And today he's set up a research group that shares insider financial information with its members. Members of Iman's group learn exactly, step by step, how to protect their assets and freedoms, just in the same manner that the super rich. Think about that. Members also learn exactly how to create income streams using financial markets. These income streams are like walkaway income or residual income. And this is exactly what the mega rich are doing right now. Members of Iman's group also learn how to potentially turn $100 into possibly tens of thousands, as people in the past have done. Again, this is what the elites are doing around the world right now. The secret that they are hiding, however, is how to protect your assets, generate an income stream, and possibly make huge income. And the secret that they're hiding is they are doing this with very specific and certain cryptocurrencies. That is the area that they're in. Now, you may not know anything about cryptocurrencies, and you might be afraid of it. There's $1.2 trillion in the crypto market today. And that may seem like a lot, but it's not. Forex does $8 trillion a day in trading. But as we speak, because of this financial reset, which is now scheduled to go into effect in a major way, it's already been in effect slightly, money from around the world, from the billionaires and trillionaires and all the institutions, it's pouring into cryptocurrencies ahead of the announcement of FedNow this summer. And they're pouring this money in because they want to be ahead of the upcoming financial tsunami. Major institutions are pouring money into cryptocurrencies. Blacksmith and Fidelity, two of the most biggest, investment firms and financial firms in the world, they're putting over $14 trillion into crypto, it's been reported. But you need to know what coins to put your money into and how to hold them. So if you want to protect money, you just don't buy cryptocurrency. There's a method. There's a specific coin or coins to buy, and it's a specific way to hold them. If you just buy any coin, you could lose some of your money because the value of that coin could go down. What are the billionaires doing? That's what Iman knows. There are some coins that are safe places to put your money. At least we think they're safe. Nobody knows for sure. But there are some coins that the billionaires think are safe because that's where they're putting their money. Let's follow them, right? Because the coin itself is historically stable. But this is where you hold your money. You put money into a stable coin like the billionaires, but you can't hold it online on a cryptocurrency exchange. You have to hold it in a crypto wallet. And Iman teaches you exactly how to do it. He taught me, he showed me how to do it. I said, I don't know anything about this. And he got me on the phone. It virtually took 5 minutes. And it was like, this is so simple. But it made all the difference because everybody I talked to who was involved in crypto, they didn't even know anything about what I did. It was such a simple difference, but it makes all the difference. So you can learn exactly how to do this too. It's simple and it's easy and it just takes a few minutes. You just need to know the simple steps and have somebody personally walk you through the steps like happened to me. Now there are other newer, in some cases, smaller coins that will experience huge ups and downs, huge swings. This is where you could potentially make huge returns. See, other people in the past have taken $100 and they bought a coin and it went up in value and they sold it for $10,000. And that's just in a few short months. And those are, rare, but it does happen and it has happened. So the returns on some coins in the past and in some cases have been mind-blowing. This is where the insiders and the elites are making unbelievable profits. Now, there are some coins stupid people bought because they didn't have the right access to the information or research. They weren't getting the right advice. And some people bought coins that went down, and these people may have lost 50, 60, 70% of their money. They put $100 into a coin, they sold it for $30. They lost $70. They lost 70%. So you need to know exactly what coins to buy, when to buy them, and when to sell. And of course, there's no guarantee that when you buy a coin, it's going to go up. But if you're following what the super wealthy are doing, don't you think that gives you an advantage? Of course it does. See, this is what Iman does. He tells you exactly what coins to buy, when to buy them, and when to sell them. You don't have to think. He's virtually giving you the fish. Give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach him to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Well, I don't have time to learn how to fish. Just give me the fish. So Iman gives you the fish. He gives you the coins to buy, and when to sell. But he also does offer how to teach you to fish. So he teaches the fundamentals on how to do fundamental analysis if you want to pick coins yourself. So he's giving you the fish and teaching you to fish at the same time. He also shows his members a little-known way to generate income with cryptocurrencies, starting with as little as $100, so your risk is pretty low. Now you can become a member of Iman's group and get access to this information as well. And I'm going to encourage you to make that choice. When you become a member and join his research group, like I have, the first thing that happens is you immediately set up a phone call with one of Iman's personally trained executives who will get you started and walk you through the simple steps to protect your assets and freedom, generate potentially a residual income stream, and possibly even make substantial profits in the future. All your questions will be answered, and it's a personal one-on-one phone call. Nobody offers this. It's hand-holding, one-on-one. You just can't get that anywhere. Then each week you have access to 2 live teleconference calls, some Iman's on the call himself, where you can ask any question and get the answer. This is virtually one-on-one personal help and hand-holding and support. I mean, they want you to win. They want you to win in this upcoming game where the stakes are your financial security and your financial freedom. Each month you get an email. And this is where Iman tells you what crypto coins you should consider buying and when you should sell them. Also, when you become a member, you're also a part, if you want to join, of an online community with the other members in Iman's group. Now, this online community is encrypted for privacy, And I'll tell you, being able to network with other like-minded people from around the world who are involved in this, who have the same mindset as you, it's extremely valuable. Remember, it's not just who you know, or it's not just what you know, it's who you know. That's the most important thing. Iman's group is, I believe, unique and one of a kind. And there's other groups out there. Maybe you like somebody else's group and somebody else, and that's fine. And there's no guarantee that his advice is going to, in the future, be as good as it was in the past. There's no guarantees in life, as we know. Do your own research. Make your own decisions. Don't take outrageous risks. Be prudent. Be conservative. But you have to do something, in my opinion, to protect yourself. Having access, I believe, to what Iman knows and who he knows gives you the ultimate advantage, I believe, in the financial marketplace. Now, there are other companies that say they'll teach you how to make money in crypto. There's a lot of them on the internet. There's a lot of crypto gurus. And many of them are nothing more than ex-Iman students. And a lot of these people, when you look at their background, they read some books on crypto, they took some online crypto courses, they traded a little bit in crypto, and now they're just putting themselves out as a crypto expert. But they've really never made any serious money in crypto. They haven't made millions and millions and millions of dollars in crypto. They're in business selling courses. And they make their money selling courses, not actually doing what they're allegedly teaching. Iman's made millions in crypto before he ever taught a single person. He perfected his method. He made his connections. That's what he did first. And it was only when people begged him to share his knowledge did he set up Keystone Research, his company. He still makes money in crypto today. That's his bread and butter. There's no other team that has Mr. X and the information coming from these insiders. That's significant. Other groups, people don't know this, other groups get paid to promote certain coins or say good things about companies. Iman takes no money from anyone. When he suggests a coin to buy, he doesn't have any conflict of interest. Other groups, they actually own the coins they suggest. So they'll buy a coin and then tell you to buy it. And as you're buying it and the price is going up, while they're telling you to buy it, they're actually selling it. It's the old pump and dump. None of that goes on with Iman. Iman looks and usually finds around 10 coins a month that he thinks are really good, that might go up in value, that he feels has a good chance of going up in value. He will randomly pick 3. That's how he tells me he does it. He just randomly picks 3, and then him and his insiders, those are the ones that they buy. And then he recommends the other 7 to the members. I mean, this I think is the cleanest, fairest way with no conflict of interest whatsoever, so you're getting real, honest recommendations. No other group does this. One more thing. If you're a member of Iman's group, you will also be able to possibly get involved in his upcoming hedge fund. This is huge. This means you can virtually let Iman do all the work for you. Now, I can't tell you more about this at this time because I don't really know and I can't share everything I know anyway. But this could be the opportunity of a lifetime. Being at the right place at the right time makes all the difference. You are at the right place at the right time if you're listening to this message. There is no place in the world that I know where you can get the information you can from Iman and his group. If you want more information, I'm going to be sharing all this information with you, and there's a special offer. I'm making it available to Kevin Trudeau Fan Club partners only. If you want this information, I'm going to tell you exactly. I will share with you. You don't even have to join Iman's group, but I'm going to share you the 2 major things. I'm going to share with all my partners exactly what the super rich are doing to protect their assets. And secondly, I'm going to share with you exactly what they're doing and how they're doing it to develop an income. And there's one more thing I'm going to give you. Exactly what they're doing on how to make massive returns. All that information is free, but I'm going to give it to partners only. And to become a partner, it's only $25 a month to become a partner in the Kevin Trudeau Fan Club. And what you get for that is not only all the information that I just shared with you, there'll be a lot more information coming free to partners, but you also get access to one monthly Zoom meeting live with me for your $25 per month payment. By the way, you can cancel that at any time. Some people I know are going to join, become a partner for 25 bucks. I'll immediately send you all the information, and then you'll cancel. That's fine. No problem. But if you stay as a partner, you get access also to our monthly Zoom call, and that's live. And on these Zoom calls, I answer your questions. And here's how I do it. Now pay attention, because this is for 25 bucks. As a partner, you go onto the website anytime during the month, and you type me a question. You can type me 2 questions, 3 questions, 4, 5, 6. I get them all, and I read them all. And when I do my Zoom call, I answer the most common questions. But then I'm going to be sitting in front of a computer, in front of the camera, and I'm going to be reading your question to you, and I'm going to answer your question, and then post it up on the website so that everybody can hear the answer. I'll keep your privacy, of course, but your question may be applicable to other people as well. And then we'll send you an email and say, hey, your question's been answered. It's available up on the website. For 25 bucks, you get to basically have one-on-one conversations with me. What is that worth? It's worth a heck of a lot more than $25, and I can tell you this, I'm not going to keep this partner program going that much longer because too many people are joining. So for $25, it's an unbelievable value. Next, you also get invited to our annual convention free of charge. So as a partner, you can come meet with me and spend the whole day with me. Iman will probably be there as well. It's all the insiders. It's amazing time, and it's completely free to partners who are partners in good standing. It's $25 a month. So you can go to ktfanclub.com, ktfanclub.com, the initials K, T, fanclub.com. Go there, just click on partner, become a partner, and we'll send you out the information very, very soon about what's happening with this financial world. This is a major, major thing that's occurring. So I hope you take advantage of it. Become a partner. Get access to inside information. There's something else that's going to be made available to partners first, and that is a seminar I'll be doing later on this year called The Money Processes, where I'm going to be releasing all the blocks that people have in their life stopping them from making large amounts of money. There's a lot of things available to partners. Become a partner today in the Kevin Trudeau Fan Club. I hope this message has been helpful to you. Don't be frightened. Don't be scared. Be empowered, because when you know the hurricane's coming and they teach you exactly what to do to protect your home and your family, and you have the ability to leave and get out of the path of that hurricane, when you come back, you'll still have your home. You'll still have your life. And in our situation, this is an opportunity where you can increase your wealth, I believe, like never before. Much love to everybody. And remember, believe in yourself and believe in your dream. You can do it. I'll see you all at the top. Much love.